All right. Good morning, Keller Williams, Greater Metropolitan, and welcome to our final sales meeting of 2021. Can you believe it? I cannot. I cannot. It is crazy how quickly this year has gone by. But what is even crazier is how much we've accomplished as a company in the last 50 weeks. And I'm sure we're going to accomplish a couple more things in the next two. Very excited for what we have on the agenda today. We're going to be celebrating some of our agent leaders that have been a part of our success for the last year, and also talk a little bit about our agent leaders who are going to carry that torch forward into 2022 and beyond. And also, we're going to have a very special interview with a very special agent in our office about a very special accomplishment that he had. So a lot of fun stuff on deck here today as we celebrate the end of our year. So for those of you who are ready, we're going to go ahead and get started. As we start every week with a little check-in on our beliefs, right? And so these are affectionately known as the Y4C2Ts. And last week, whenever we were having our kickoff retreat with the 2022 ALC, we spent a good amount of time talking about what these actually mean and where they show up in our business, where they show up in our personal lives, and where they show up in our company's culture. And the one that stands out to me today is the belief of teamwork and that together everyone achieves more. When I look back at at this year, the last 12 months, and quite honestly, let's go all the way back to that fateful day in March of 2020 when arguably everyone's life changed forever. We came together as a company, as a culture, as a team in a lot of different ways. One big team for the entire company, many small teams for those of you who have close friends or even family members that you call your colleagues here at Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan. And as we look ahead and as we had this conversation with the 2022 ALC, really felt like it was the idea of agents helping agents, the idea of our training calendar being stacked with experienced professionals inside of and outside of our company, the opportunities for support being only a phone call away, whether that be to our broker or to myself or any other member of the leadership team, any member of the ALC, any member of this brokerage. And I think that as we look at what we've accomplished this year, individually and as a whole, I think the idea that the belief that with teamwork, everyone achieves more has never been truer than it is right now. And there is arguably no other place in the world where that has manifested itself in a more material way than with our company. So thank you to everyone right out of the gate who's been a part of helping anybody else in our brokerage or in our industry at any time in your career. Now, let's celebrate some birthdays. I know we're a little bit of the way into the month, but that's no reason to not still tell people happy birthday. So these are our December birthdays and a very fun little GIF accompanying that. So if you see a name on there, go ahead and shout them out in the chat box, send them some love, shoot them a quick text, and tell them that you love them. For our Keller versaries, these individuals are kicking off another year with Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan, another year in the KW family. And so we're very excited to have the opportunity to do business with them yet again for yet another year. Now, let's get into some celebrations around our November accomplishments. You can see our top individual agents for listings taken right here. Want to give big shout out to a guy we're going to be talking to later, John Murchison, with 9 listings, 9 of them in the month of November. Carol Joyner coming in with 8, and then Darian and Dina both with 5 each. Distinct Home Group continues to hold top honors for the teams with 9 listings as well. And then as we round the corner into groups, we had a lot of success from our large teams and groups, topped off by the young team with 22 listings in the month. That's nearly 1 for every business day in the month. So big congratulations there, but lots of folks in the high single and double digits for groups for our company. Now we list so we can close. So we had a lot of big closers, in the month of November. We had a very strong month, as we're going to talk about in aggregate here in a minute. But congrats to Jade Zivko with 8 closings, and Dina, Jeremy, and Mike all with 6 closings for the month of November. And then lots of folks in the 4 to 5 range last month, which is huge. As we look at our teams, no surprise to see the Distinct Home Group on top there as well. And then congratulations to the Threshold Group with 5 closings. If you haven't met Eddie, Donnelly, and Kaylee, they are an outstanding group that joined our company earlier this year, and we are thrilled to be in business with them. And then finally, our top closers for groups in the month of November. Shout out to the Zimmer Real Estate Group with 15 closings, the Golden Group with 13, and the List Sell Buy Group with a cool dozen for the month of November. Now, before I move on, I saw a question in the chat box. Hey, Mike, what's the difference between teams and groups? Well, it's pretty simple. If there is a rainmaker and 1 additional agent, 1 additional license, that qualifies as a team. If there are 2 or more additional agents beyond the rainmaker, that then qualifies as a group. So groups are 3 or more, teams are 2. Cool. If you have any more questions about that, feel free to let me know. All right. So these are our numbers for Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan in the month of November. Now, I will contextualize this by saying the 4th quarter of 2020 was the largest single quarter in arguably the history of real estate. Let's call it the modern era. My data shows it was the largest 4th quarter in the last 17 years, at least, because that's all the further I can go back. So as we moved into 2021, we knew that we were going to be up against a really, really impressive comp, right? We were going to be battling to do as well as we did last year. And wow, we blew it out of the water. If you look at our performance specifically around listings taken and the listings taken volume, and listings sold volume, we did a lot of really, really good business. So units remaining positive, huge as well. We can control whether or not homes sell to a certain extent. We can't always control what they sell for. So units is always going to be our lead indicator. I think what's most exciting for everybody on this call and everybody in this company is when you look at the contracts written and contracts written volume. That is, in some part stuff that was written or showed up in the very same month, but a lot of times that is going to be stuff that is coming in downstream. So very, very encouraged by that number. And then finally, the most important number, I think, to everybody in the room is that closed GCI. That's how much money is making it to you as our agents. So yes, you made more money this November than you did last November, but look at that year-to-date number. mean, look at that whole year-to-date column. There's but a few that are not in the double digits of increased performance. And guys, the way December's going, they all might make it there by the end of the year. So this is a huge, huge, huge accomplishment for everybody as an individual and for us in aggregate. You know, Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan is the #1 office in Northeast Ohio in terms of closed units, closed volumes, and listings taken for the last 3 years. And it will be 4 years in a row as soon as we close the books on this month. And if you were at the holiday party on Saturday evening, which was a blast, you likely heard me say that this week, it wasn't yesterday, it might be today. If not today, then tomorrow, we will cross $1 billion in closed business as a company for the first time. And so much research to be done on my end to get some other fun facts and stats to go with that. But be on the lookout for some cool marketing and graphics and celebrations, and just us having a lot of fun with that milestone whenever we get there officially. But really, really thrilled about everything that was accomplished and continues to be accomplished by this group. All right, now I'm going to step out on a limb here and hope it supports me in an attempt to play a little family reunion video. See if I can do this and see if you guys, see if this works. All right. All right. Doesn't look like we got there, but I will post this in the Facebook group later. I had the audacity to try to show a video. Now, if I could just get my share screen back. Okay. No, we're not gonna. Sorry, folks. All right, well, here's the slide. Family reunion returns in person for the first time in over 2 years in February of 2022. It'll be in Orlando, Florida. We've already sold over 10,000 tickets for family reunion. So Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan operating, or sorry, Keller Williams Realty International operating in over 60 countries around the world with nearly 185,000 agents worldwide. Some of the best programming, education, networking, referral opportunities, and as I'm sure any agent who has ever attended one of these, a lot of fun is available for you as a part of family reunion. If you're interested, I believe the link for tickets just got posted. We always take a strong contingent. I believe in the in 2019 we had almost 30 agents attending. We have a lot of fun, big dinners, big parties, masterminds, you name it. It is there for that week, and is a huge opportunity to level up your business and level up your network worldwide. So if you're interested in that, click the link that just dropped in the chat. If you want to talk through it more and understand it a little bit better, please reach out to me. We'll get you linked up with some veterans who have been there, or talk a little bit about what that experience looks like. Now, one of the things that you're going to hear a lot about at family reunion and after family reunion is this idea of segments. So as Keller Williams Realty International continues to grow, we amass so much talent organizationally that we're able to stand up entire segments of professionals, real estate professionals that work within certain disciplines. So sports and entertainment is one of the most exciting and newest ones to launch. Last month during Veterans Day, we announced the KW military segment. Some other segments that you will see and hear more about are luxury, new homes, and working with new home builders, relocation, commercial, and much more as we continue to identify ways to segment and specialize the training, the education, the network, and the resources available for your business. So we see a lot more of that happening at Keller Williams Realty International and across the entire Keller Williams ecosystem. And we look to replicate that to the extent possible here locally for you, and also bring those resources to bear with respect to our local market. So a couple things on upcoming trainings. There are only a few things left as we round the corner towards 2022. We're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up next year, because as you know, you can't have a great year unless you have a great start. So we are going to help you hit the ground running next year. But to close things out in a big way, first, I want to talk about an event that is being hosted by our mortgage partners, Cross Country Mortgage. They're going to tell you more about this just a minute when we throw the mic over to them. But want you to know that December 16th, this Thursday at 1 p.m., they'll be hosting a Zoom about financing investment purchases. Now, this could be very important to you as an individual. It could be very important to your clients. Either way, this is something really powerful to get educated on. So many times there is, just a blanket statement around investment financing or financing investment purchases that people take as truth. Now, if you've ever done a deal with Sean Hadley or Don Jarecki or any of our friends at Cross Country Mortgage, you know that these guys always have a trick in their back pocket. They always have a little bit of black magic that they can pull out to get deals done and to bend the map a little bit. And so they're going to talk through what are all the things you need to know, what are some of the nuance around financing and investment purchase, and how can they help you and your clients. So if passive income, building an investment portfolio, or helping investor clients is a part of your business plan or your plan for life, then you should be there on Thursday. And then finally, we're gonna round out the week and the year with our final Money Matters Mastermind, which is going to be all about building a framework and a system to tell your money where to go in 2022. We are expecting another very big year for our agents and for our industry, and so the opportunity for you to have a plan for where you are going to put every nickel that you earn and what it is going to fund and how that builds a perfect life for you is our conversation. Because as you have heard me and Dave Ramsey say, he said it first, but I like repeating it. If you don't tell your money where to go, you're going to wonder where it went. And so if we have a plan going into next year, which is going to be your biggest and best year yet, then we're going to be very, very excited to go out there and earn it so that we can live the life that we want. All right. So that's the training for the year. Now we have the opportunity to talk a little bit about our Agent Leadership Council. So the Agent Leadership Council, for those of you who are newer to the organization or maybe have only heard it thrown around here and there, it's important that we all understand how unique this element of our organization is across the industry. And this is something that Gary Keller started back in the mid-1980s as a way to truly treat agents as partners and as stakeholders in the organization. And so the Agent Leadership Council is a group of agent volunteers who are in the top 20% of real estate agents inside of our brokerage who raise their hand and say, yes, I want to be part of the group that does the following, that supports the culture and values of our company, that is participatory in leading the trainings that we provide our agents, that is willing to be a support mechanism and a voice for agents in this company to leadership and ownership. That is to be a part of a group to hold leadership and ownership accountable to solid finances for the organization. And then most importantly, maybe to be a role model of what it looks like to be a great real estate agent in our market, in our market center, and in our industry overall. And so want to start this, I want to take the next step in this conversation by giving a big thank you to the 2021 ALC. And I would appreciate if all of you would do the same, either in the chat right now or individually with the ones that you know or the ones that have impacted you. I know that I have referred lots of people on this call to one of these individuals, right? Sometimes or oftentimes I get a question from an agent that I might not be the subject matter expert on, or I might not be the best person to answer it. And so I will hand it off to one of these individuals because I know that they will do the right thing. I know that they'll help the agent, and I know that they have the best interest of that agent and our total company at heart. This is a really amazing group. One from, these are all the folks that you see running our trainings, and you see present in the chat box and so on and so forth. But also their performance from a professional standpoint is above and beyond anything that we've seen from an ALC previously. They are collectively, this group has closed already this year over $200 million in business and over 900 units as a group. So, I mean, there are, if you took the number 10 brand, took all the offices for the number 10 brand in Northeast Ohio, this group of 14 agents would have a bigger business than them. Incredibly impressive that they are able to do that while they are helping me and the rest of the leadership team and the ownership group grow this company and grow our agents' lives. And I want to give a very special shout out to Colleen Miklas, Matt Chase, Debbie Garson, Morgan Curtis, and Jane Evans, who all served back-to-back tours of duty. So they were both on the 2020 and 2021 ALC. So those folks had a hand in all the success that we've had in the last 2 years in helping us navigate the pandemic and everything that came with it. So big thank you to everybody involved with the ALC and everybody who ever has been. It's such an integral part of what we do as a company and what makes our company special. And we are thrilled with the group that we have for 2022. As you can see, as our company has grown, so do we want the representation on our Agent Leadership Council to grow. And so you see this group getting a little bit bigger. And I think, it's, although hard to imagine, potentially a little bit better. And so hopefully you see a couple familiar faces from the last slide to this slide. We've got a lot of folks who are going to do a second term as well, but then we are bringing in some of our rock star up and coming agents, some folks who have been with the company for a decade or more, and some folks that are doing some really exciting and interesting things as it relates to their business. And so when you think about the Agent Leadership Council and you think about your business and you think about your goals, I promise you that there is somebody in this group who is doing what it is that you want to do or has been where you've been. And so when you need help, when you need support, when you need training, when you need to shadow someone, when you need mentorship, everyone's hand has been raised to do this. You're going to be hearing a lot from these folks. You're going to see them popping up on the training calendar. You're going to see them doing parts of these team meetings in the future. And so we're thrilled. We're thrilled to have them involved and get excited about the future, because this is the tip of the spear. And if this is where everything begins and ends, I think we're in very, 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 very good hands. All right, so send some love to the upcoming ALC and be on the lookout for them to be on your training calendar and in your sales meetings throughout the course of next year. So a little bit more on, looks like you got some slides out of order here. Sorry, guys. One of the segments that I mentioned was the builder and new home construction. So there's an opportunity just this week, tomorrow, and today and Thursday, starting at 11 o'clock. If you're interested, the Builder Development Realtor Education Training Course. This is everything you would need to know about working in new construction. One thing that I know several of you have seen and heard a lot about is the KW School of Real Estate. So very cool thing, not yet in Ohio, but on its way, I promise, is a partnership that Keller Williams Realty International made with Kaplan University to provide real estate pre-licensing courses at little to no cost for agents around the country. And so any state that is in red, if you know someone, a friend, a family member, a former colleague that lives in that state and has even the slightest inkling of a career in real estate, there's an opportunity for them to get their pre-licensing education at potentially zero cost to them at all. So every area is running it a little bit differently, but know that it's not $1,000 or $1,300 or $1,500. It can literally be $0. If you know somebody in Arkansas that should be a realtor, there's an opportunity for them to get licensed at no cost. And that means an opportunity for you to grow your profit share. We talk about profit share a lot here as a company because we are the fourth most profitable Keller Williams franchise in the entire world. So it has a high impact here, but in case you didn't know, it doesn't have to be somebody in our market center for you to enjoy the benefits of profit share. It can be anybody, anywhere in the world. And so if you know someone in one of these states that has ever mentioned to you that they'd be interested in learning more about a career in real estate, let's get them connected with the Nevada version of Mike Rapasky and get your downline growing. It's an opportunity unlike any afforded anywhere else in the world, that being profit share. And now this way to grow it at no, of course, no cost to you. It never costs you to participate in profit share, but to the individual who might see the cost of licensure and certification to be a barrier to entry, Keller Williams has made the decision, has elected to remove that barrier as an opportunity for us to continue to grow as a company. All right, few command updates before we throw it to our partners. If you are one of those people who are like, oh, geez, I know I should post, but I just don't know what to post. This is a reminder that every month for every holiday you could imagine, there is a customizable post available in Designs. You can go in, drop your logo, drop our logo, tweak the design in any way that you want to make it yours, to make it authentic. But if you're just like, hey, I know I need to be out there and I need to post something on New Year's, great. There is something that you can post. So no excuses in not showing up in your clients and spheres, Facebook or Instagram feeds this year. Take advantage of that and take advantage of the Command app. So for those of you who were with us on the journey through having Kelly on your phone, and all of the kinks that came with that, all of those have been worked out, and we are now operating in the Command app. I got to tell you, as a power user for Command, as somebody who uses it every single day, this app is incredible. Your ability to identify tasks, update contacts, call directly from Command, and then put notes in right away. This is one of the best pieces of an already great product. So if you want to use it for managing your sales pipeline, for managing your touches and your phone calls, or just from having a portal into looking at your business in Command, you can do all of those things. So go into the App Store and download it now. It is a really, really powerful upgrade to anything that we've had from a mobile standpoint with this platform. All right, I'm going to take a break and catch my breath before we get to our featured interview of the day. I'm going to start by throwing it over to Sean and Don with Cross Country Mortgage. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Very good. Thanks everyone. Don had a 10 o'clock call. He may have just jumped off, but a couple things to touch on today. So first off, the Federal Reserve Board meets today. Their meeting concludes tomorrow with a press conference right around 2:15. This is another big one. I know we seem to say that every time leading up to the meeting, a lot of anticipation and anxiety. Inflation is just, keeps creeping up, and that's the worst thing for bonds and rates. There's talk that they may bump rates up here, mid-year or even sooner next year. That might almost be welcome, just because that could help curb inflation and soften the rate market a little bit. So stay tuned on that. Thursday, 1 o'clock is the investor class. One of our more popular classes for the year, when we do those a couple times a year, whether it's yourself thinking about getting into investment, or you just want to kind of get a broad understanding of how the financing world changes for investors, or you want to kind of just get motivated to get out and get some investors. I mean, I have a couple of customers. I have 2 customers who I did 10 loans for in the past 2 years for investments. Those are great customers to have for all of us. Next one, the jumbo loan limit did officially change effective January 1st. We talked about this a couple of months ago. The new jumbo loan limit is $647,200. So you could buy a $660,000 house with 3% down and get a great interest rate, not have to worry about kind of the jumbo hoops and headaches. You can buy a $725,000 home, put 20% down, and still potentially be eligible for a appraisal waiver. So just to put that into perspective a little bit. And then in the chat box, I just put in, excuse me, just a little 5-year rate chart for where rates have been over the past 5 years. So just to give you kind of a little bit of idea about where we're at today, where we've been over the past 5 years. And I think that's all I have I have some other stuff, but I feel like I'm running long. So I'll cut it there and we'll save it for next year. But any comments or questions for today?
None from me. I think looking forward to Thursday. Know that that'll be a great class. Know that there's always a ton of questions around what I need to know about somebody who's buying an investment property versus, just their primary. So I expect that we'll get a good turnout, and that want to get a lot of watches on YouTube afterwards. All right. Next, let's see if we had. Doesn't look like we have Jess Ivins. I messed up her schedule last week. And so instead we'll throw it over to Tiffany Haddendorf Smith and Jade Tishka if she's in the house. Tiffany.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So I just wanted to say on our final call of the year, thank you guys so much for your business this year. GM Title has had a very, very successful year. And of course, that is due to you fine people. So if you have not used GM Title, please give me a call. Let's set up a meeting. We have a lot of really, really cool integrations that, as far as I know, we are the only title company that does this. Such as text messages, things of that nature. So feel free to reach out to me. Let's set something up. And again, thank you for your business. And we are looking to a very successful 2022.
Thank you for everything. I love all of the pivots that we've been able to make together throughout the year, your responsiveness to the needs of our agents, and whether it be deal related or even lead generation related. Really love seeing the open house baskets and those sort of things as those start to kick back up in a very big way in the spring. Make sure you're taking advantage of that, guys. So thank you so much, Jade, and to the entire team at Greater Metropolitan Title and Escrow. And then last but certainly not least, Miss Gina Legeza, who I will spotlight for everyone now. Let's talk a little bit about bringing it home for the year with America's Preferred Home Warranty.
Good morning, everybody. It was great to see everyone that attended our party on Saturday at Goodnight John Boys. I will say, you folks know how to party. Awesome. I loved meeting everybody and continuing to foster new relationships with our partnership. So first and foremost, I came on in April. Just wanted to thank everybody for just really being so supportive and being so kind to me. And I appreciate each and every one of you and your business and our partnership. Please know to start off the year very strong. Looking forward to seeing everybody at Bold. You don't want to miss. We will be sponsoring. I will be there every step, teaching some new things that maybe a lot of you haven't heard or don't know about. So I'm excited about that. Beyond Bold, we're going to be doing some risk management workshops that are a cannot miss opportunity for your business. I'm going to start with ALC and present that to them. This is an unbelievable workshop. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all with that, helping your business to the next level as far as RoPro, our online web tool will make things very easy for your paperwork and business. And finally, we'll end the first quarter with the listing clinic. So all these things I'm really excited to launch first and second quarter next year. Just wanted to thank all you guys from my heart for all your business and support this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina. There's a list too long to give all the people that you've gone above and beyond for with our company. So if anyone ever feels like they need the extra mile or the extra support, I know that they know that they'll get it from you. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
All right. And now I would like to share my screen again, if I could figure out how to do that. You'd think after 2 years of Zooming that I'd be able to get through this. Now I want to get to our agent spotlight for the day. Thrilled for this conversation with Mr. John Murchison, the man, the myth, the legend. Those are your words, not mine. Want to get him, where you at, John? Where can I spotlight you? I guess I don't need to share this screen. Let's just let everybody see John's beautiful face. John, if you can, there you are, my friend. Let's get this spotlight going. And let's have a conversation, Mr. Murchison. Typically I send questions ahead of time, and I reached out to John and I said, do you want to know? You want to know what the questions are going to be? Give you the opportunity to prepare. And he said, "Nah, man, let's just do it live." And I like that. I like that, John. So let's talk a little bit. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you've been with KW? What brought you to real estate?
Okay, a little bit about me. Real estate. I've actually been licensed in real estate for quite a while. I got my license way back in 2003, late 2003, going to 2004. Been with KW now going into my 10th year. Came here in 2012. I was, for the most part-time, sometimes no time in the business. And, I think over the past year or so, I really just wanted to get focused. I think I've been maybe full-time for maybe the past 2 years now. Been in other businesses and things like that, as far as licensed, insurance and all that type of stuff, bartending, all types of things. But yeah, I've been in real estate for here at KW in 10 years and going into 10 years. And it's really been great, honestly. The environment, the people, learning people. I'm a quiet individual. I kind of sit back and I like to do things under the radar, but to answer your question, yeah, that's just me. I don't really know. I don't like to talk too much about myself.
I know. It's what makes this so much fun, John.
Right.
All right. Well, listen, so you've been in the business for a while, as you said, sometimes part-time, sometimes no time. And you really hit your stride this year. You had a really great year. I mean, 9 listings last month alone. What do you attribute your success to, over time? Anybody who's able to stay in the business is something to that. But then this year specifically, what are you pointing to saying like, that's what helped me get it done?
One word was coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Just making the decision to do coaching with Eric. You pointed that out to me going into the beginning of the season. Hey, you want to get a breakthrough? You really should consider coaching. And, Eric came to me a few years ago and had mentioned coaching. I think he saw some numbers where I was getting to certain levels and I would just bump my head and I wasn't really breaking through to the new level that I wanted to go to. And I just wasn't ready to do it then. And I was just like, no, I can get it. Sometimes you want to just put it on your shoulders and try and carry yourself through some things. But a coach in one of my other businesses that I'm affiliated with actually said something to me. He was like that your best thinking only gets you as far as you've gotten. And sometimes, like I think I shared that with you the other day at the event, is that sometimes you got to get outside of yourself to get to where you want to go and align yourself with people who are doing the things that you want to do, or they're already doing where you're looking to go. And getting in coaching, man, it made me realize that, hey, everything that I'm looking to do is right here in front of me, but I was missing opportunities, so it kind of changed up a lot of the things that I was doing as far as, tracking my business, looking at my pipeline regularly, knowing where your business comes from, and then also keeping your goals in front of you. So coaching helped a lot in the success for this year. Honestly, I think it's really the main thing that helped me to get exactly where I'm at right now. And, I haven't done anything great or anything. I'm still looking to get higher, but and I'm definitely going to go higher. But that was just the biggest focal point is just, being ready to take on coaching.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love that. And I think that you've chosen a great call booth to take this one from, because it says your business grows to the extent that you do. And I heard you say a lot of things about the way that you think and your mindset as big drivers for this year. Any major upgrades or changes in the way that you did business, or pieces of leverage that just kind of created another breakthrough for you that maybe came through coaching?
One of the biggest changes I did for me is to, and I don't encourage anybody to do anything that I'm doing, but, it's just to sit back and just take a look at what I want, and then I think another bold law is just you teach people how to treat you in your business, and just putting things in place that are going to work for me, as far as dealing with people, because, you can get out here and a lot of people will, want to waste your time. And, I had to get to a point where I was just like, I'm not chasing certain type of business. I have to be okay with letting some things go and, focusing more on the things that I actually want to go towards.
Mm-hmm.
So after getting out of that space where it's like I'm chasing and doing this, and I think I also shared with you, it's easy to get caught up in the busyness of real estate and that instead of actually doing the things that are going to drive the business.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting caught up in a lot of that, and that was one of the biggest changes that, hey, I had to realize, what am I doing wrong? That's only getting me to 16 or 17 deals a year. And I'm just close to capping and it hadn't happened. And I'm like, man, I was right there, but what didn't get me over?
Right.
So that was it. Just making a few, little tweaks, and I mean, very minor things that I was just doing wrong as far as like, keeping on top of the business.
So prior to this year, what's the most you ever had pending at one time?
Prior to this year, the most I ever had pending might have been about 8 deals.
Okay. And then what's the most you had pending this year at any given time or at one time?
Well, as of recently, it was 16 till, 5 of them fell out, but that was just maybe about 2, 3 weeks ago out of 16 pending. Right now, I'm currently sitting with 10 pending,
Yeah.
after having capped, these things are going to close pretty good. And, I was like, man, that's a big deal for me.
Yeah.
Small potatoes for a lot of
That's a big deal for anybody, man. I think, what do you think the, 2016 John Murchison would think if he had 16 deals pending at one time?
2016 John Murchison would be very overwhelmed. Right now, I'm a little overwhelmed, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I think I'm more excited than anything to see what the new year is going to bring and pushing it to a whole new level.
Well, let me ask you this question because let's get real, man. One of the biggest benefits of this company is the idea that we've got this cap, and when you hit it, you earn 100%, and you get to choose your own destiny in terms of how much money you make. And I mean, to spend a long time with the company, getting close but not quite getting there. I'm sure Tony Geraci was calling you every 3 months to come over to Century 21. I'm sure somebody offered you a better split or a better cap, and you never took it. Why? Like, if I'm sitting here and I'm trying to break through and I'm looking at the math and I'm like, well, there's 10% more over here. Why didn't you go? Why didn't you take the bait?
That's a great question. I think the biggest thing that kept me here is the belief system. What I felt like KW actually stands for, it's the training, the support. I just felt like everything I had is already here. And, a lot of times I feel like sometimes we go chasing things. Like I said earlier, I could have gone to Century 21 because yes, Geraci, he still call. My first broker in the business called me the other day. I'm like, I'm okay where I'm at right now. I could have gone somewhere else, but really, sometimes, like I said, chasing something else to go somewhere else, it's not necessarily about what they can give you. It's really about what you want to do for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a change of the company. It was a change that I had to make in myself, to get where I want to go. And I'm still changing. I'm still learning things. And, like I said, I haven't done anything spectacular, but I do know I'm on the way. And I know I do have the capability of being a greater agent. And, that's all I'm shooting for, is to get better each and every day.
I got to tell you, man, your ability as a agent is only exceeded by your humility. That is, you're a good dude. Now, looking ahead to 2022, what's on deck? What's your primary focus for your business, and what's the target?
Primary focus is this, just keep growing, continue to just, move forward. As far as a target, really the sky's the limit. I would like to say, hey, my goal, this year, I'm probably going to finish up this. I have some closings coming here this week, tomorrow, 3 deals closing. I may finish up somewhere around almost, just shy of 3 million this year. But, I want to break 5 million. I want to break 5 million. 6 figures, obviously, 150 grand or more would be better. It would be a lot better than where I'm at right now, but would be ideal. But really, it's just focusing on growth and growing, getting invested this year. Me and Eric, we've been talking about some stuff, and that's very much in the near future. So just staying focused on, the goals and keeping the goals at hand.
I love that. I feel like if you pass Eric in the hallway, he makes you feel like you got to go get an investment property. So I can't imagine what it's like in the coaching program. John, thank you so much for your willingness to be on this call this morning to help us close out the year on such a strong note. And look, man, thanks for all you do for other agents. I know that, as soon as you started to see success, you put your hand down and started to pull other people up with you. Can't thank you enough for that. What a huge, huge representation of our culture and the idea of teamwork that you represent. So thank you so much for everything. Cannot wait to see how high this rocket ship goes for you and for everybody else in this company. And if you need anything, you know where to find me.
All right. And just my last thing, man, I want to say thank you to everybody as part of success. Mike, you, yourself, man, having those talks earlier in the year. I really appreciated that, directing me and getting me going into the coaching. Eric, obviously, big shout out to Eric. Thank God for him. Anybody that's looking to do coaching, definitely consider doing it or get in coaching. I'm gonna say consider it, just do it because it'll make a huge difference. Big shout out to Scott Phillips. I always have to say thank you to Scott. Like, Scott has helped me in so many ways over the years, and I'm not gonna go into details, but I really appreciate Scott. Man, when you're in need, he was a friend indeed. I would say that. Okay, so big shout to Scott. Nikki Briscoe, you're on the way, man. She was part of success for the 9 listings as well. So I definitely want to shout her out. And man, let's just keep pushing these racks up, man.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, John. Thank you so much. Congratulations on a great year, and all the best of luck next year, my friend.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, let's bring this home with a sneak peek of what is coming down the pike in January of 2022. So here are some upcoming trainings that are going to be hitting your calendars. We have, we're going to do an abbreviated version of Ignite. We're calling an Ignite Sprint. It's going to be 6 sessions over 2 weeks to get you in shape and back in touch with your clients after an awesome holiday season. Looking forward to that. We are bringing back the Your First Deal series, and we're looking to hit this potentially both in during the day, but also after dark, so we can get some live training and education in the inboxes of our dual career agents or our agents who are unable to make it during the day. We have a really, really, really fun class coming at the end of January, which is going to be a live buyer intake, a real play around buyer intake. As you know, when February and March start to roll around, buyers come out of the woodwork. They are not all created equal. And so if you don't have a good intake and consultation process to identify who's the today buyer, who's the tomorrow buyer, and who's a looky-loo, you got to be here. It's going to be led by an outstanding agent named Pat Barman. And he's going to be taking us through and doing some role plays around that. And then finally, Bold is back in person. As we break the binding on 2022, you're going to see more stuff in person. This is one of the most impactful, if not arguably the most impactful training that Keller Williams Realty International puts on. We're bringing this to town as Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan, and we are thrilled to provide that opportunity to you. There's only about 45 spots available for our market center. So if you haven't emailed me and let me know that you're interested, the link's going to go live sometime, we believe, before the Christmas holiday. It's going to hit your inbox. Be on the lookout for it. Make sure you take advantage of it. Bold is back in person starting January 19th. So don't miss out on that opportunity. And guys, that's all I got. That's a wrap on the day. That's a wrap on the month. And that's a wrap on the year as it comes to sales meetings. Thank you for joining me each and every Tuesday. We'll be back in action on January 4th. So be on the lookout for a really exciting kickoff to the year. And be on the lookout for more information around Ignite, Bold, and the January calendar real soon. Huge shout out to our ALCs, past, present, and future. And one more big shout out to Big John Merch. Congratulations, man. We will see you guys in and around the office over the course of the next few weeks and look forward to a great year ahead. Have a wonderful holiday season. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out.